Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Warren Lance, and I want to welcome you to the weekly Take Action team call, where each week, not only do we want to inspire you into taking action, but we want to give you some tools to really move your business forwards. And today, are we in for a great treat? We have this amazing, dynamic, beautiful woman joining us. She's actually the 247th Isagenix Millionaire. So woohoo there. She's gone 5-star golden circle with the company, which is a multiple six-figure income. And it has just radically sort of impacted their lives. She has 3 beautiful children. So she's was a busy mom and still managed to figure out how to get this done. So it's my absolute treat to welcome to the line Heidi Burkemper. How are you doing, Heidi?
I'm great. Thank you, Warren. Thank you for such a nice introduction.
Wow. It's been an amazing journey. I mean, I feel like Arlene and I know you and Paul so well. I mean, Paul's been up here on the island playing hockey with his son. I mean, it's neat how all of a sudden total strangers become dear friends. And I got to tell you, I'm excited to get down to Aspen and go skiing with you and Paul. We'll have a blast.
We will have so much fun.
Yeah, we will. So let's roll back the clock of time. I know you were a stay-at-home mom, raising kids and that, and you got exposed to a direct sales company. Now, this is prior to Isagenix, but I think it lays a real good context for our conversation to continue, because I know Paul's built 6 different businesses and he's a little bit of a financial wizard, and so we're going to pull that into the story. But let's roll back the clock of time. You joined this direct sales company, and why did you join that first one? Like, what caused you to get involved?
You know, Warren, it's so interesting. The idea of being able to work when you want, where you want, and with whom you want has really appealed to me, the flexibility. And so I was introduced to a product, basically. I didn't really even look at it as a business. It was just in the crazy busyness of, you call me a stay-at-home mom, I call myself a never-at-home mom. That's it. Any hockey moms out there, you know what I'm talking about. And I had 2 big-time hockey players and a daughter. So, all very, very busy, 3 different schools, yada, yada.
I don't know if people do it with a full-time job. I mean, Arlene and I are full-time marketers, and with 3 boys, as you said, never at home. I mean, there's always stuff going on, and I look at people that have the typical 9 or 8 to 6 job, and I'm going, how do they do it?
It's a head scratcher, right? Yeah. So that's always appealed to me. And, really the idea of also being able to work, of course, where you want, whenever you want, etc. But to have an internet-based business where, you're in Canada, in Vancouver Island, I'm in Aspen, Colorado, but it feels like, this morning we were talking, it feels like we had a shake together. We had breakfast together.
Yeah, we both had a shake.
Yeah. Right. So I've always loved that. And, I do feel like the right network marketing company with the right compensation plan is the most relevant business model in our evolving economy. There's no question about it.
Without a doubt. Now, with that, because that was more of a product-based company, it was more really direct sales. And my understanding is, like, for someone to come in, if Arlene was to join you and she was wanting to make, say, $50,000 a month, I mean, you would have to do, you'd be setting her up for success. How many presentations per month would be the expectation that she'd have to do?
It was crazy. 8 to 10, at night usually, and basically maybe the presentation's an hour, but setting it up, getting it all, it ends up being 3 or 4 hours with travel time, etc. And so that was, I learned pretty quickly in that company that this is not the vehicle that I was searching for.
So you were more of a happy product user.
I was really more of a happy product user because I love the products organically. I kind of moved up in the ranks pretty quickly. But then when Paul looked at the compensation plan, and he looks, as we were talking before, he really looks at a company, no matter how much you love the products. And, he wouldn't say join a company if the products weren't impeccable. But the first place he looks is the compensation plan, because even if the products are impeccable, if the compensation plan is broken or not, you're not going to earn the money commensurate with the effort you put in, it doesn't matter.
Right. So that direct sales model, you being out of the house, 8 to 10 evenings a month, that's literally like a third of the month you're gone for about 4 hours. He's going, this isn't worth it for 50 grand a year.
I know. And that's why I never really went anywhere with that, because it wasn't something that, it was really never, the lifestyle associated with building that business was never something that lit me up.
Okay, fair enough. Now, what excited you when you got exposed to Isagenix? So talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's interesting because at the time I was exposed to Isagenix, I was on a completely different trajectory.
Okay.
I was at a point, you mentioned I have 3 children, and my 2 boys were, one was playing hockey in college. The other one was playing, club hockey in the USHL. And my daughter had just gotten her driver's license. So here I was like, wow, next chapter of my life.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? And my husband, Paul, he built an incredible financial business in St. Louis, Missouri. And I thought, well, hey, I'm sleeping with the boss. I know I can get a job there, right? And so I got my Series 7 and my securities license. I got my insurance law license, my Series 66, and Paul was going to train me and coach me and teach me to do, we had really identified a little sliver of his business that I would specialize in. And I was excited about it, but it was really, Warren, something that never felt like it was the easy way. Yeah. And at that same time, right when I was going to kind of start, I learned about Isagenix, and really it intrigued me because my enrolling sponsor, the amazing Lynn Hagedorn, had just moved from that company, that direct sales company I mentioned, to Isagenix. Now she, unlike I, had everything to lose, by switching, companies, because she was making a significant multiple 6-figure income with that company. It intrigued me from a business perspective because I respected her, that she would choose to leave it all on the table and start completely over with another company that I had never heard of.
Right.
And I will say that it intrigued me from a business perspective. However, what really excited me, as you said, was the grass-fed, undenatured protein shake.
Yeah, because I was really passionate about nutrition because your boys are so active in sports and playing at a very, very high level. You knew about nutrition. You made it and it's something that was important in you. So obviously you knew about undenatured whey protein. Now all of a sudden Lynn's telling you our shakes have this undenatured whey protein, not a soya protein. And all of a sudden you're like, wow.
And Warren, not to mention, this is kind of hilarious, but the other direct sales company had a protein shake and I couldn't even buy it for my boys. I mean, they looked at it and they're like, there's no way we're drinking that. We're athletes, And so, the idea that we have, well, now with Isagenix, we have the dairy-free option plus our amazing whey protein that is designed to build lean muscle and really is the game changer. Coming from a hockey mom, coming from someone who, Paul and I really tried to provide every advantage for our boys to get to that level where they aspire to be. I can tell you this for sure. Nutrition is the difference maker. It's the game changer. And I could go in, I don't think we have time today, but I could go into what happened with JP when he was playing D1 college hockey and he started consuming our protein. I mean, well, I'll tell you really quick. He basically lost 5 pounds of fat and gained 6 pounds of muscle in 60 days. And his coach and trainer called him in and said, "What the hell are you doing?" And had him tested.
Drug tested.
He had, yeah. Well, they had him tested, because they were like thinking he was doing steroids or something. So let me tell you, that guy, I mean, he was on the same program. The trainer had all of the boys do the exact same fitness program. When JP changed his nutrition from what he was currently doing to Isagenix, it was a game changer. Mm. And so anyway, that's just a little, so I am passionate, like you said, I always have been, about finding and implementing the best nutritional technology for not only myself, but my entire family. And I found it. Yeah. And that really organically drove me to feeling compelled to take sort of the road less traveled. The not so easy, like, oh, I'll just, I'm sleeping with the boss, I know I'll get a job. But really my passion drove me to feel compelled to learn more about the income opportunity behind these incredible transformational and nutritional solutions.
Cool. So now, because that's part of our next point, like, because you have certain key points that you like to leverage with prospects, with new people that you bumped into, sort of like the wow factor of Isagenix. Yeah. And you want to speak into that a little bit, because I know Paul, again, being a very successful businessman and a bit of a financial wizard, you came home from your first event rather excited, and Paul said, "Okay, let me take a look," and supposedly spent most of the night. Like, share with us a little bit just that financial due diligence that he did, because most people just fall in love with the product, no different than you in the first company, yet the compensation plan really isn't set up to reward the people doing a ton of work. I mean, it's just like it's incredibly challenging. Your words, I think, where you had to get super lucky in hopes of making good money. Now talk a little bit about that point, the financial side, compensation side that you and Paul discovered.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because, Warren, that of course was the first time I ever met you. And, we didn't know each other 6 years ago, and it was my first Isagenix University. I remember telling Paul, well, first of all, Paul fell in love with the nutrition also. He stole my blender. I'm like, "Where's my blender?" He stole my products. He brought the shakes to his office. I'm like, "You need to get your own products, buddy." So anyway, he loved the products. And I said, I feel compelled to learn more about the income opportunity behind these products. I just feel like something inside me says, take a deeper look, do your due diligence. This is the rest of your life, and so I did. And Paul said, go for it. I went to that Isagenix University and I met you for the first time, and I met Lynn, and the culture, my gosh, the energy of the people, the happy, healthy people. I love that. And, met listen to the scientists and the irrefutable science. Incredible. Met Jim and Kathy. My gosh, are we so lucky to have them at the helm?
Yes.
And really realized that, wow, I mean, if Isagenix had a middle name, it would be integrity. Integrity of the products, the quality of the ingredients, integrity of the comp plan, the science. The people, it really drew me in. And I got on the plane back to St. Louis. And I remember thinking, wow, we have a health crisis and we have a financial crisis. And this company provides a solution to both.
Yes.
And this is what was so interesting with Paul, circling back to your original question, is I actually referenced you. He picked me up from the airport and I said, Paul, I met the nicest guy. And he's been doing this for 7 years. He lives in Canada and he has established like a $50,000 a month residual income with this company in 7 years. And Paul said, and it really irritated me at the time, and he's not arrogant and he's not that person, but, he said, well, I mean, it basically said, if you do the financial business, you would earn that too. I mean, I have great faith in that. I know the business. And he said, if I were going to start a business, I would expect to be earning that after 7 years. And I was just kind of like, okay, big shot. But here's what happened. And I want everyone to really tune in if you're kind of half listening right now, because this is the difference. There's a lot of ways to establish an income. There's a lot of ways to earn money. But what he said is, hold on. So Warren, this guy you're telling me about, started this business 7 years ago with no risk, no overhead. We eat our overhead and become healthier.
Exactly.
No employees, no employees. He didn't have to create anything. He didn't have to, he doesn't have to do 1099s for his employees. I mean, it's so clean. It's so clean. All he had to do was open his mouth and share something he loved. And now his car's a write-off. I'm like, my whole life's a write-off. You come to Aspen, that's a write-off. I mean, it's crazy. And he said, now I'm interested because, yeah, Paul has built he is a I love that, financial wizard. I love that. But he's he's brilliant. And he looks at compensation plans and companies from the top down first, okay, not from the bottom up. And when he looked at this compensation plan, he kept looking for, where's the catch? Where's the catch? And after with his colored pencils out, reams of paper, it was hilarious. And he's like, wow, this is the most brilliant compensation plan I've seen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you find the right people. It is, you're building an income producing asset. You have control. He goes, I love this business. And he, because he's built businesses and, sometimes one of those businesses in particular, we lost our shirt.
It happens.
Yeah.
Businesses have ups and downs. And as you said, in the network marketing profession, we generally come in with very little money. I mean, right. Today people get started for what? Somewhere in between $300 and $600. I mean, please, if we had to at least invest $6,000 or $60,000, people would take it a heck of a lot more serious. It's such a small entry fee that people don't take it seriously. And I love what Paul said. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Like if you're willing to do the work, which clearly you have, I mean, as a result, I mean, we can fast forward a little bit. I mean, you were living in St. Louis, Missouri. Now you're living where again? What was that?
My favorite place in the world, Aspen, Colorado. It's so funny. We're talking about top achievers in Maui, Hawaii. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited I earned it, but I've got to leave here. So yeah, I mean, I get to live where I love and love what I do.
So hang on a second. So because of this multiple six-figure income you created, and obviously Paul also, but in supporting you, because I know it's always, there's that silent partner in many cases that makes a world of difference. And I know Paul did that for you guys. So Isagenix actually had a role or an impact in having you guys be able to move to Aspen?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I still look in the mirror and go, did I really pull this off? You know, and it really, we have the flexibility. I mean, Paul sold his business. We moved out here. He still has a couple other, you know, he has some things in the works too, but you know, what's interesting? He has taken a more active role recently in this business because he's like, this is so much fun. Yeah. It's so much fun. So yeah, we get to live here. And, you know, I'll tell you that for me, I feel like Jim and Kathy custom made this company for me. Thanks, Jim and Kathy. They didn't know it, but the nutrition fuels, you know, I'm 52 years old, and Warren, I've never felt better or more energetic, and it's because of our products. And to be able to have the flexibility and the privilege, really, to work with the caliber of people that we get to work with, to live where I want, to do what I want, where I want, when I want. I mean, it's pinch me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, part of it is like, I know you're really passionate about getting people to a 10 out of 10 belief. I know that's really important to you. And,
yes.
and it's so easy, as you said, the science. I mean, we have 7 published peer-reviewed studies. I mean, the science unequivocal. Come to one of our events, you'll see the culture. I mean, it's second to none. I mean, the real question mark is that sort of like that compensation plan. But yet when you start seeing, as Paul really ripped it apart and analyzed it, it'll stand up against any company. I mean, it truly is one of the most distributor-friendly compensation plans out there. And part of the reason for that, I mean, Jim Coover's brilliant in putting it together, but I think here's sort of like the secret sauce is John Anderson, the master formulator behind Isagenix. I mean, he was like the 3rd wealthiest man in the state of Arizona when he started Isagenix. I mean, worth hundreds of millions. I mean, Jim and Kathy Coover were retired. And when they created Isagenix, it was more about give back. How can we impact world health and truly like make a significant difference? So when they put the compensation plan together, they made it incredibly equitable for the distributors, for the people in the field rolling up their sleeves, getting to work. You're going to get very well rewarded. And I think that's what really appealed to Paul. And when you hear him talk about it, I mean, it gets people fired up because into it, at that point, there was a shift because you now started reaching out to people because you had this business intent. Talk about that, because it wasn't, hey, Nancy, you should try these shakes. They're good for you. Talk about what the team you were looking to put together. Like, it's that languaging, I think, is priceless, and it would be invaluable to the thousands of people that are going to hear this call.
Oh, thank you, Warren. Well, this is really my favorite thing to train on, and I did it organically. And it started with going to an event, you know, because you can listen to as many of these videos or Zoom calls as you want, but when you feel that energy in the room full of Isagenix people, it's like, it gives me the chills right now. And, you know, the culture is really, it's unparalleled. So when I came back and, you know, here, I always say, if I could implant my belief in my brain into anyone, they would become an Isagenix millionaire, no question. You know, if I could just implant my belief in brain. And I came back and, you know, I knew the culture is impeccable. The products are, and the science, irrefutable, the best of the best of the best. The people, everything's in place. And, you know, our vision of becoming the world's largest health and wellness company, when I heard it for the first time, I was like, woo, that's a pretty strong statement. Now there's no question in my mind. We are going to be the largest health and wellness company in the world. And then when Paul gave the, the green light on, wow, this compensation plan is, it is brilliant. It is incredible. I started with the belief and the intention and the absolute gut knowing that I am going to build a multi-million-dollar international business, and I'm going to partner with Isagenix because this is the best vehicle I've ever seen in order to do that and impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain. Everyone, when I talked to them, knew where I was going. It's an energy. It's an energy you bring to the table. So it wasn't, even though, I will sit here all day and say, this isn't from Warren or Heidi or even Isagenix saying, we've got the best shake. We do. We have the best shake. It's just like, it is the best nutritional technology on the planet. And we're going to keep ahead of anybody else because, like you mentioned, our scientific advisory board, they will stay ahead of every other company. But here's the thing, it's so much more than our nutritional technology. It is so much more than just our product. We are freeing people from physical pain, but also financial pain. And when you come to the table with that belief and with, when I first started, I made a list of everybody that I thought, wow, I'd like to work with them. They're driven. They have a great network. They're fun to be around. One of our big things in Isagenix is having fun, so we're not going to look for Debbie Downers. Who's positive, who's driven, who wants to be more, do more so they can give more, who is a little bit like Jim and Kathy and John Anderson, who it starts with abundance mentality, not a scarcity mentality. I want to give back. I want to do. So I looked for that. I wrote them down and I said, we need to talk. This may or may not be a fit for you, but I have found a company that I am absolutely blown away by, and I've decided to partner with them from an income standpoint. The product everyone can benefit from, no question. And this will be the way people eat. This will be the way people eat in years to come. It's nutritionally dense fast food. But I am looking to put together my kick-ass team, and I thought of you. You're on my short list. You're on my short list because, and it was different from everyone I reached out to, but things like, because you're my best friend. And you know what? We would have a blast doing that. And I know how passionate you are about helping people. And, again, I think it's important, Warren, to say it may or may not be a fit for you.
Yes, of course.
It opens the door for them to take a look. And I believe, and I know you believe this, that the only reason people say no is because of preconceived ideas. Because if they did know what we know, they would not say no.
Exactly. They say no, but they don't know enough to say no to us.
Exactly. Right.
Oh, my goodness. And yeah, it is really amazing. And I think that's one of the things that was so special was when you started building your business, you didn't come out just with this, like, okay, I'm going to tell some people about these products. You really had a business intent, and you were looking to put that team together to really impact lives and make a difference. And you were just approaching people with this, like, you know what, Nancy, I'd love to work with you. We have so much fun together already, and we've found a vehicle. Paul's looked at the compensation plan. This is legit. It may or may not be for you, but would you take a look? Well, tell me one of your good friends that wouldn't be willing to take a look. It was beautiful, and that was part of the reason your business sort of went yeet like this.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, and Warren, it's interesting because the other thing, I did have some of those people say to me, oh my gosh, I've never seen you like this. I'll buy your weight loss system, but don't call me for 30 days. And then, they ended up being my business partner because the products work.
Yeah.
But it was like the default was buying the value pack. it was, and this is what I would really say to you, Warren. I have some people that tell me I'm uncomfortable leading with the business. And, I always lead with both. I mean, they go together. I always,
the same.
exactly. But here's really where my head is. How can I most effectively and efficiently impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain? The most effective and efficient way I can do that is to find my team who's going to duplicate that.
Yes.
So that's what abundance, that's what this company was founded on and built on. And I'm going to take that abundance mentality and keep it in my heart and soul and pay it forward.
Well, and you absolutely are. I mean, you're living the lifestyle. You guys have moved to your dream location. I'll be honest, Arlene and I, my dream location probably is going to have a palm tree in it. I love the snow, don't get me wrong, but
we have a place
majority of the time I like palm trees and nice blue water. But anyways.
I don't want anyone to get mad, but we also have a place in Marco Island, Florida. So yeah, we do get to do both.
It has been an absolute treat. You like that abundance mentality, starting a little bit with a business intention. Like if you want to do this as a business, don't be afraid to let people know. I mean, though that's some of the secret sauce that's driven you to an Isagenix Millionaire status, is because it's not an after, oh, by the way, there's a business thing here. I mean, you're sort of starting out. We're going to impact health, but we can make some money along the way, and you are looking to put that dream team together. So I just want to say thank you so very much for taking the time to share some of your secrets and tips to your success. It's been an absolute treat. And what I will say is if anyone wants to get a copy of this recording, there's a couple of ways you can do it, or a few ways. You can go to YouTube and search Take Action Team, and Katie's going to post the video recording there. You can also go to Facebook and go Take Action Team, and it'll get posted into the Facebook group there. Or if you have Podomatic, Katie's going to convert this into an audio, and it'll get downloaded to Podomatic. So anyone with a Podomatic player is going to be able to listen to it as we work out. So any final words?
Yeah. This is the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like we're just getting warmed up. And we're in people search for opportunities like this for a lifetime and never find them. And I would say, Warren, that right now, as we're expanding into Europe and beyond, and right now as our health crisis continues to decline and we have this solution, I'm not going to be stingy. I'm going to tell everybody I know. And, it's interesting because when I went millionaire, there were some people that came back to me and said, oh, I should have joined when you talked to me 3 years ago. And I'm like, join now. It's never been a better time, ever. It's the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. And we get to take this company to critical mass. It's going to be the Apple of nutrition.
Oh, I love that. Well, you know what? I know you're heading out to the slopes to get some skiing in this afternoon. So I just want to say again, thank you so very much. Be sure to say hi to Paul from Arlene and I. And you know what? Have an absolute blessed week. And we'll say hi to everyone in a week from now. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Lauren.
Bye.
Bye.